Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located here in Melbourne, Australia. And today I've decided to go back to one of the most popular suites out of the annual catalog, which is the Peony Garden Suite. And I have made this card, and I'm going to show you how I made it, including this cool double bow. And I'm going to change up the sentiment a little bit. This one I got kind of as a sympathy card with my thoughts are with you. But I'm going to do a birthday version because I do a lot more birthday cards than I do sympathy cards. And I have gone ahead and cut my pieces of paper already to help speed things along. When you're here, oh, hello, Paula. Nice to see you. When you join us, please do say hello so I know who's here. I'm going to start by showing you how I do this little fold back feature, which I like. Since our designer series paper is two-sided, it's nice sometimes to be able to show both sides of it. So this is cut down 2 layers. So you have your card base and then first layer and then a second layer down. For us here using the A4 cardstock, this means that it is 9.5 by 13.9 centimeters. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this at just shy of 7 centimeters, and I am going to do this up at the top of the cutter. And with my cutting blade, I'm going to come down 3 centimeters. Now, if you bought the new Stampin' Up! Trimmer, which I have, it came with a cutting arm with a ruler in inches. But they do have, for not very much money, an arm that you can swap out to have it in centimeters. Which I do find useful since I work in centimeters most of the time. So now I have that slit in the middle of this piece of designer series paper. And what I'm going to do, it's a little easier to see on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the point and the slit, and I can feel that it's lined up there. And I'm going to use my scoring blade, and I'm going to gently score on that diagonal. And I'm going to do the same thing going this direction as well. And that just helps me get a nice fold, hopefully. Hi, Nikki. Thanks for joining us. So now I'm going to grab my bone folder. You can see it's hard to see that on this side, but I can over here. Go ahead and just crease that. And that. They aren't perfect, but they are close enough for me. And I'm just going to put a few dots of glue to help hold that down. I love this glue. It just really doesn't take much. And when you can get away with very little, you have very little likelihood of it oozing out and making a big mess. So that's nice. Okay, so there's that fold back, and then I've cut a piece of basic white cardstock exactly the same dimensions. So again, if you're coming down 2 layers in inches, you've got your card base, and then you've got your 4 by 5.25 inches, and then this says 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, but we really know that that's 4 by 5. That's funny, Kylie. And in centimeters, which is what I'm working in today, there's your card base, and then 14.4 by 10 would be the next size down. That's why. 13.9, the wrong piece. There we go. 3.75 by 5. That makes much more sense. So, I love these templates. They help me translate between the 2 cardstock sizes really easily. So right now I'm, like I said, working 2 layers down. So it's the 3.75 by 5 or 13.9 by 9.5. So I'll get those out of here. And we will go ahead and adhere those 2 together. And I could mess around with not using so much cardstock and whatever and just having it over here, but life is short. This is easy. So again, just a thin bead of glue, all it takes. And since I'm lining it up exactly, this is just super easy. Goes right on there. And I have my other layer. So now here's my 10 by 14.4 of Petal Pink. I don't usually do most of the assembly before the decorative parts, but that's how I'm doing it today. And you see I've got the same layers just without the designer series paper. This is for the inside of my card. And put this on the outside. So, is it feeling more like spring where you guys are in North America? Because it is definitely autumn here. Although we are going to get warm again over the weekend, I think, for a day or so. But in terms of the light, it is definitely getting... The sun is coming up later. It's setting earlier. We're definitely feeling that. Okay, so there's my base all ready to go. Now we're going to do some stamping. And I have my gray granite ink. And I've got these 2 stamps from Prized Peony. So I'm going to ink up that peony. And that peony. Give them a quick clean. And while I have my stamp pad open, because I know what I'm doing for my, well, actually I'm going to ask you what I'm going to do for my sentiment. Like I said, I wanted to do a birthday for this one. So I've got that happy birthday. I've got that happy birthday. And I have this, may good things grow all year long. And each of them will fit on this piece. See, I can just take it like that if the stamp is larger than what's on the picture, it says so down here. These are not, so I know that I can fit these on perfectly, no issues. So 1, 2, 3. Which one? 77 in Phoenix, huh, Nikki? That's cool. Not like where Paula and Gladys are. Hi, Gladys. Nice to see you. 1 or 3. 1 and 3. 3. Anybody else? Gladys, you want to weigh in? Okay, we'll just go with 3 since that got the majority. As soon as I find it, there we go. And I'll grab the block for it. It up. Let's see how straight we can get it. There we go. Is what it is. Is going to be good. Okay. So set that aside again, and now we'll do some coloring. Once again, I'm using my Stampin' Blends markers. It's my current favorite way to color because it's so easy to get really nice results. I'm starting with the light petal pink, which is the color of on our designer series paper. I stamped in gray granite, which is the other color that we're using on our card. And with these, I'm just doing a swipe of the light color over all of the petals. Pretty quick. If some parts stay a little bit white, that's okay. That's sort of my built-in highlight technique. So what else is going on where you guys are? I would show you Noah, but once again, Glenn took him to the office. I don't know what it is about Wednesdays that seems to work well for that, but he's often on my Facebook page if you're friends with me over on my regular Facebook page. If you're really into Noah and you want to get subscribed to my photo album, my shared photo album, let me know and I can send you a link to that. There are over 300 pictures of him on there. Yeah. So that's really quick and easy with the light petal pink, and now I'm going to come back in with the dark petal pink. These are sold in combos, pair of the colors or the shades of the same color. And anywhere that there is shading from the stamp, I am adding the darker color. They've done all the thinking for me. So I just need to go and do a quick swipe of color in those spots. Which is good because, like I've said before, I am not a trained artist in any way, shape, or form. I just like to craft. And people who do have much more artistic ability or training, they come in and do awesome things with these. that I'm like, wow, I didn't even know you could do that much stuff with these. But that's not me. So I just use the tools they give me. They're quick and easy. And since I'm really just doing the white and the gray granite and the petal pink, I wanted to do something in the center of the flowers since they do stand off as a different color, but I didn't want it to be hit you in the face. So what I did is I took the light So Saffron, which is our lightest yellow color. It's just barely there. And I'm putting it into the center. There we go. And then the leaves, I just did in the light gray granite. Again, I didn't want to stick a big pop of green on there. Okay, so that's the coloring done. Now that my hand is out of the way, can you guys see the shading? The tips, so we have two tips. One is, we call it a brush tip, but it's a marker tip shaped like a brush, and it's got some flexibility to it, which is nice. And then we've got a bullet fine tip on here, which is like a bullet point marker, which is nice because different sizes and shapes take different points nicely. But it's not a brush like on our aqua painters where, you know, these are fibers and really actual brush. So it's not like that. It is still a felt tip, but in a brush shape with flexibility. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in my Baby Boss, or the mini Stamp and Cut machine. Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. I'm gonna cut that down so it fits. And I have the Peony dies. And we'll go ahead and do this one. Once I get it lined up, sometimes I like to add something to make it stick. These are Avery's version of Post-it notes or Post-it flag. I don't know. They're terrible as Post-it notes, but they're great for this because they hold well enough to do this, but they lift up really easily, which is why they're terrible as Post-it notes. Or sticky notes, I suppose, is the generic term. There's one. And we'll do the other one. Oops. Go in. There we go. Yeah, as I've said before, if you are buying one cut and emboss machine, do not buy the mini. There are too many things, way too many things that will not fit in there. I got it as a gift from my upline over time, accumulating gift vouchers. And I got it because I knew it would be great for things like this where hauling in the big one is a little bit much. So, now we have these elements, and I'm going to put that about there. There, and there. We'll bring that down a bit. Okay. So I'm going to bring in my dimensionals. And now I've attached them together with one of them. Tiny drop of glue there between the two of them. Right there. And like so. And then we'll do some more on the back here. 1, 2, 3. That. Okay, and now it's time to make this double bow. And I watched a video that somebody uploaded on how they do these, and all of a sudden it's like really easy to do. So I'm doing it like she did, working off the roll, so I don't have a measurement of how long, and it will vary because you control the size by how far apart you spread your fingers. And I want this one to be fairly small, so I'm going to keep my fingers pretty close together. But you wrap around, so that's 1 loop, 2 loops, and now I'm going to cut my other tail. So I've got 2 loops, and it comes around and goes through. I don't expect that you're going to get this right off, especially as I'm fumbling here. Come here, stay over that. It's going to give me 3 loops. Really, I had it when I did the other one. 1, 2, 3. Go down, come up. Woo! We having fun? There we go, down. Come here, come here, come here. And through, right? And through. I think that's it. There we go. Okay, got it. Sorry, that was really confusing, wasn't it? But there we go. Yes, I watched the video too. And I made this other one this morning just fine, no problems, but of course on camera. And you can futz with the loops a bit. Of course, I inevitably find the more I futz, the more messed up they get. So I'm about to stop here. Like I said. Okay, so then we bring in glue dot. And add that right there. And trim the ends. Here we go. And it occurs to me that on either of these, we could add some bling. I think they're in here. Let's see. Nope, in my other one. Some of these elegant faceted gems, which are also part of this suite. We have clear ones and pink ones, and then these sort of opalescent white ones or sparkly white ones. Choices. This is where I always struggle. Sometimes it's really easy, and sometimes I just really struggle. So this is the time of year where I like to go back and start playing with some of the first things I got from the annual catalog. And I'll be honest, it's because we're coming up to the end of the annual year and they're going to be retiring. Like this, I don't know which stamp sets are retiring, but I'm pretty darn certain that the designer series paper is going to retire, even if the stamp sets carry over. So I like to start using up what I've got. And there we go. 2 cards, pretty easy to do, but I really like how this fold just adds a little more interest and shows off both sides of the paper. I hope you've enjoyed that today. Next week, same time, same place. Let me double check my calendar here, because we are coming up to, yes, we are still, I believe, same time, same place next week. Yes, it's the following week that the time changes in North America. And so I will put up the links again for those couple weeks. We've got about 2 weeks where we're off our schedule, and then I think we go back on our schedule. I don't know. It'll change again when our time changes at the beginning of April. So yeah, keep your eyes out. If you like following along live, keep your eyes out. I'll have links for what times it'll be. as the clocks change for the start of spring and the start of fall, autumn here in Australia. And otherwise, these will be on my blog, my next blog post, and I'll let you know when the videos are up for replay if you've missed anything. I will talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.